this is what you want in knockout games and in finals, is you want your senior players and your more experienced players to be available for selection. So it is a bit of a big loss for us, but I think we have capable replacements. I think a guy like Ethan Hooker has done well to put up his hand this season and show that he can also play at this level.
And Eben and Vince, they're both fine for the final.
Yeah, they should have recovered from the injury, and I think they will be fine for the final.
Thank you.
I just want to mention that Ox is also on the call, so if there's any questions, Ox is also happy to field a few questions.
Vashan just said now that we can also ask questions. I've got three. Coach, just two for you. What are the key areas are you guys looking to touch up on that has been a concern as of late for the Sharks?
Yeah, I think to put a good 80-minute performance together. I think at times we had some good rugby, and then at times we fell off the pace a little bit and didn't play a 80-minute good game. So I think it's definitely one of the areas to have a 80-minute of consistent rugby that we want to play. And then, and I think one of the areas that we obviously focus on is just our exits as well. I think in the past we score a try, get a kickoff, and then we concede points again. So to be a lot more clinical in our exits, that we hope, especially in a game like a final, where when you put points on the board, you want to put the pressure back on the opposition. You don't want to put the pressure on yourself. So that was definitely one of the areas that we work on, and then just a consistent performance over the whole 80 minutes, and I think probably key for us going into this final.
And then second question, Gloucester faced Benetton in the semis. Do you take anything out of that game, and what are you expecting from this Gloucester side on Friday?
Yeah, listen, we obviously don't just analyse that Benetton and Gloucester game. We do analyse the last few games that they will be involved in. We'll probably don't spend too much time on the game that they played against Northampton, where they lost quite badly against them. But we will look at most of the games that they played over the last 3 games to obviously analyse them and see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and how we can obviously use our strengths and weaknesses against them. So, I think happy with the plan that we've put in place for them this week without giving away too many secrets. And hopefully we can be successful on Friday night.
So you're not going to mention anything that you expected from them? Keeping a secret?
No, unfortunately not, because they would read probably what is said here and take it on board for their game. So I think we're happy with the time we had to actually analyse them. The fact that we haven't played our final squad in this Cardiff game that we played on Saturday gave us actually the opportunity to start last week already to implement our plan, or install our plan against Gloucester.
Then finally, Ox, good day. Ox, yesterday's training session at the Lensbury was a happy atmosphere. How's the mood in camp at the moment in the lead up to the big game on Friday?
It's pretty good. I mean, everyone is focused, and I mean, it's a pretty big game for everyone. Everyone is just in tune, excited, and we just want to give it our all.
Jan, yes, I presume I can go now. Oh, this one's for Ox. Ox, I know that France had some really good sweets and cakes and stuff. Any nice treats in England that you enjoyed this week?
I haven't gone out. I'm probably gonna go out today. So otherwise we landed on Sunday, so just been in recovery training, and then today I might go out and go indulge a bit.
On a serious note, Ox, I mean, you've obviously played in World Cup finals and stuff like this. How's this build up compared to, say, a World Cup final or an international test?
I mean, it's as serious for me because I mean it's a serious game. It means like it's something that we've never done as a union, and it's as big as a challenge for us. So, I mean, we're taking it in the same way. We're taking it with the same intensity and the seriousness of it, because I mean, we could be the first team to actually win a European title. So I think for us it would be like a amazing reward if we did it.
You obviously, and I know the teams always speak about the leadership group, and you got guys like Eben and Vincent and guys who've been with you in France. How much do you guys use from what you learned there and pass it on to the younger guys in the team or the guys that weren't in the box setup?
Yeah, we try to implement it as much as we can, and obviously, but like there's a different manner of like doing things as well, because I mean you working with different guys and it's a different environment. So we try to, especially like in terms of keeping players calm and just guys focusing on what they do and not the event itself, but like what they can do to actually help the team. So I think that is our biggest task at the moment, to make sure that just everyone knows that they shouldn't get bombarded by the fact that it's such a big stage to actually be playing on.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Charlie, followed by Mohammed, followed by Kotso.
Awesome. Hi, Ox. Charlie here. I just had a question about the new laws from World Rugby and players not being able to call a scrum from a mark. That was such an iconic kind of moment in the World Cup. Do you think that's a bit of a shame that that's changed?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, I can't actually say much on it, because I mean, it is what it is. Our job is just to take laws as they are and just try to follow them. So I mean, it is like, I mean, for us, South Africa, it was a big weapon for us. So I think it is also kind of like, okay, you know what, we'll just have to find another way to implement what we're strong at.
I appreciate you probably don't want to, you say that you obviously want to follow the laws as they are, but is it important that the game continues to kind of nurture and cherish the scrum as a kind of concept?
I mean, honestly, for me, it is a big part of the game. That's why we always say, like, rugby's for everyone, any shape, any size, and the scrum is also a big part of the game, where the big boys can also take on each other and challenge each other. I mean, if we don't want the scrum in rugby union, then we should just start watching rugby league, I guess. I mean, it's literally that simple and straightforward, I think, in my opinion.
And just lastly from me, thank you for your time. The Gloucester scrum is one area that they've been reasonably consistent this season. What do you expect from them there?
I mean, it's going to be a big challenge. I mean, I think in the last 5 games, they've like won 13 penalties for them. So it's going to be a big challenge for us, and it's definitely a challenge we're looking forward to. And yeah, I think it's a good test. I mean, they're not playing in the finals because they got lucky. They actually work. You can see the amount of hard work they've actually put in, and to just do well together as a unit.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Richicho van Dietzwe, how are you?
I'm good at you.
Right, man. I see Gloucester has a Russian tight end prop. He goes by the name of Kirill Kotovtsev. And I checked his bio, and he was a wrestler before he became a rugby player for Russia. Are you going to show him a few wrestling moves in the scrums on Friday?
No, I'm just happy that we don't have to wrestle on Friday, honestly, because I just see like he's pretty much like a state champion. So yeah, but like we don't have to wrestle, we have to scrum.
But you're world champion, Ox, so I guess you have nothing to worry about.
No, you can never relax. Eh? Not in this sport. Rugby can be a very humbling sport, and I think it's going to be a very good challenge for me to actually play a scrum against a guy like that. I mean, he's captain the Russian national team. He's presenting them like a lot of times. He's played in a World Cup, so is actually a pretty good player.
And just the overall forward contest for the Sharks there, obviously your focus will be the scrums, but just in general, the more, I guess you would want to get that going as well, just to lay that platform, because you've got a exciting backline who can strike as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a good challenge for us as well, because they also like move pretty well and defend moves pretty well. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I mean, for us, it's naturally like with our exciting backs, the way we defend, and it, something just to bring it together would be definitely a set piece. We get that battle and we win that. I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Khotoselo from Newsroom Africa. Just a quick one for Neil Powell. You know, as a former scrum half, when you look at Masuku, the way he's performed throughout the season, just to sum up, what conditions have made him thrive in the Sharks jersey?
Yeah, thanks, also. I think, yeah, happy for Sia that he got opportunity, and that when he got his opportunity, he actually grabbed that opportunity with both hands. And I think I must actually bring Ox and the forwards in. Yeah, I think how they dominated as a pack is obviously always helping a fly and a scrum off to flourish if they can get ball on the front foot, and I think that's all credit to the forwards. And then obviously with all the experience around him as well, Swys Venter that's played Test rugby before, Lucanio with 13, even in the inside of Sia Masuku, somebody like a Grant Williams and a Jaden Hendricks that's very experienced at Test level as well, and then Mapimpi on the wing. So I think the senior players that he had around him to help him to make decisions, and then also the pack of forwards that actually gave the backline a lot of front football, has definitely assisted in Sia performing the way he does. But take nothing away from him. I think he's a special player. That's the reason why we actually contracted him last year from the Cheetahs, because we saw that he's got something special in him, and that he's an all-round good flyer. He's not just a good kicker of the ball. He can't just defend, or he can't just attack, but he's actually good in all those areas. And that's probably what makes him a good flyer.
And talking about his all-round play, him being sort of a complete fly half, should we expect the Sharks to unleash him and let him run riot come Friday?
Yeah, listen, I think he's showed what he's capable of, and we don't expect more of him. We just expect him to be Sia Masuku and play the best game that he can for us over the weekend. I think he's proven himself already, and we just want him to take charge as the general of the team, make good decisions in attack, and then also lead the team in defense. So I think he's a good player. All we expect of him is to be Sia Masuku out there on Friday night.
Do you expect him to improve and perhaps one day don that number 10 jersey for the Boks?
Yeah, listen, the way he's going, I do believe that he can be a really good international 10 as well. There's probably one or two things that he still need to learn, not just in our environment, but when he's invited to the Bokke lineman camp in that environment as well. And again, with almost all the tools that he's picking up along the way, I do think he can be a good international 10 as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Please can I request that all questions be directed around the EPCR Challenge Cup final this weekend. Next week can have Percival, followed by Kaniso, followed by Louis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, colleagues. Morning, Neil. Morning, Ox. My question is directed to Neil. Neil, ek vra my vrae in Afrikaans. Net twee vrae is indien moontlik, coach.
Ja, is reg.
Neil, kan ek jou vra, net om terug te gaan, ek moet 'n vraag in Afrikaans natuurlik herhaal. Omtrent die beserings, herhaal gevra my, wat is die aard van Lucanio se besering, en hoe groot van 'n terugstel is dit om hom moontlik beskikbaar te hê as 'n leier en as 'n speler, en wat is die aard van julle skrimskakels se besering?
Jaden Hendricks. Ja, so Jaden en Lucanio het al twee so half skouerbeserings. Ek dink Jadenson is 'n bietjie meer ernstiger, so hy sal 'n langer tydjie uit wees, waar Lucanio het meer soos 'n pek spierbesering en dan ook 'n fraktuur van sy eerste rib, wat hopelik 'n korter tydjie sal vat om hom terug te hê. So ek glo hy sal weer terug wees vir die internasionale wedstryde later in die jaar. Ja, ek dink 'n groot terugslag vir ons. Dit is obviously wat 'n ou graag wil hê, om jou ervare internasionale spelers beskikbaar te hê vir finale soos hierdie. Jy weet, hulle was al daar gewees 'n paar keer met die Wêreldbeker in 2019 en 2023, en hulle weet wat dit vat om suksesvol te wees binne in sulke wedstryde, veral wanneer die druk groot is. Jy weet, hulle weet om kalm te bly en om daai daai kritieke oomblikke weer te trek wanneer dit nodig is. So dit is 'n bietjie van 'n groot terugslag vir ons en die feit dat hy ons kaptein ook was vir die seisoen is 'n bietjie van 'n groot terugslag, maar ons het genoeg leiers in die span om daai vlag op te tel en met dit te hardloop op Vrydag aand.
En dan my laaste vraag meneer Paul. Kan ek dan vra Neil, jy sal my korrigeer as ek verkeerd praat hierso. Julle as die Sharks het ietwat van 'n wipplak seisoen beleef. Jy sê dit in die VRK en nou as jy skielik in 'n eindstryd natuurlik. Is dit 'n geleentheid vir julle om te wys dat julle 'n gedigte unie is, 'n unie waarmee rekening gehou moet word hierdie Vrydag in 'n finaal teen Gloucester?
Ja, ek dink dit was 'n uitdagende seisoen gewees, Percy. Ek dink jy weet van julle kant af waar jy net kan sien wat is in die vier lyne gebeur. Ek dink ek kan julle gesien het was uitdagend, maar ek dink daar's baie goeie plek in baie goeie goed in plek gesit vir ons om van te bou in die volgende seisoen. So ek dink met die spelers en met die afrigtingspan wat ons het, jy weet, kan mense sien dat ons 'n gedigte span is en 'n span wat ernstig opgeneem moet word. Ek dink dit het maar 'n tydjie gevat om die ouens te kry om met mekaar te connect en so half hulle momentum en flow te kry, jy weet, en as jy kyk na die afrigtingspan ook, daar's net een afrigter wat laas jaar afgerig het wat in hierdie jaar se afrigtingspan is. Daar het 'n paar nuwe ouens bygekom, soos Masuku onder andere, jy weet, so dit het 'n tydjie gevat vir die ouens om mekaar te vind en ons is seker nog nie heeltemal waar ons wil wees nie, maar ek dink 'n klomp goeie goed is in plek gesit vir ons om hopelik die sukses te hê Vrydag aand, eerstens en dan volgende jaar dan daarop te bou.
Neil, thank you so much and all the best of luck.
Thanks, Percy.
Now, Mike, you going first?
Yes, you
Okay.
may proceed.
Okay. Neil, one of my questions to you. When you look back at the final, Neil, how difficult as it is for you guys to get here, and what will it mean for the Sharks to actually win this tournament? Yes, the game still needs to take place, but it takes place in the backdrop where the Sharks couldn't fire in the URC, but somehow found a will and a way in the Champions Cup, in the Challenge Cup, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's I would say it's a crucial game for us. I think it's obviously an important game for us, but more for us as a coaching team and as a squad. I think all the hard work that's been put in over the last 8 to 9 months since the start of the URC, I think it's important to get that reward and give the players and the coaching staff some sort of reward in this final. And again, I mean, we can sit and hope that we will be successful on Friday night, but I think and Ox will tell you that the guys know that they have to go out there and make it happen. There's no team that will just roll over and give you success. If you want to be successful, you'll have to go out there and really play well to be successful, and especially in finals, and be very disciplined. So I think in terms of what it will mean for us, I think especially for the squad, and for the coaching team and for the fans back in Durban as well. I mean, it's I think it will be a great reward for all the hard work that's been put in over the last year, and yeah, just a bit of a tap on the back and almost again like a bit of motivation and confidence to start the next season hopefully on a better note.
To talk us through the novelty of a neutral final. I mean, the URC final is a home final for the team that finishes top along with the playoffs, but a neutral final is quite new for South African teams playing in England, where Gloucester, you'd say, is the home team based on the fact that the final is in England and they left the most supporters there. But just talk me through how the team is processing a neutral final.
Yeah, I think it's it's part of the rules that we can't have a EPCR final in South Africa, and we're more than happy to go back to England and play that game in England. I think again, with the experienced squad that we have that's so used to traveling with a lot of international players, they know what is expected. They know what it takes to go away for a week and play a game away and be successful. So we will obviously rely a lot on the experience of the international players in this game, and also in pressure games and pressure moments. So, and again, I think as a team we've come a long way, and it's the collective that's going to make us successful on Friday night.
And I think my question for you, Ox, as players, when you came back from the World Cup and the start that the Sharks were in, do you ever see did you guys ever see yourselves actually making the final and playing in such a prestigious game?
I mean, for me, it was like, if you look at it, majority of the players that are playing is pretty much the same players. The only thing that we had to change was our mentality. And I knew, like, I mean, I practiced with the guys against them, and I knew we do actually have the players, the skill sets, just that mentality just had to change to actually back ourselves and understand that we're all good enough. And yeah, that was the aim from the beginning, essentially. And yeah, I believe we're good.
Thank you.
Good morning, both. First of all, my first question for Neil. How much of a reward, or I'm trying to find the right way to phrase, but how much of a good thing would it be to become the first South African team to win a European competition?
Yeah, I think it's always great to almost make a bit of history by becoming the first South African team to win a European trophy. Yes, and I think it is great at the end of the day, but I think what will matter is what happens between the four lines for that 80 minutes. We know we have to be very disciplined. We know that we have to bring a massive effort and stick to what we've discussed and how we want to play that Gloucester team. So, and then hopefully at the end of that 80 minutes, if we've put in the effort and we've done what we discussed and hope to achieve on the field, that we then will get the reward of lifting that trophy on Friday night. So, but it will be really special. And yeah, and I think well deserved for a squad and a coaching team that's worked really hard to let this team connect and make it a better team. So yeah, we're looking forward. We're very excited about Friday's night game, and we want to be successful, and we hope that we can be successful.
Yeah. Do you think it is it kind of almost an extra layer of motivation that you and the coaching team are driving home, the fact that you can quite literally make history?
Yeah, listen, I think the biggest motivation for us is coming from internally, what we want to achieve and where we want to go, not just on Friday night, but after that in the next year or two as well. So pretty much the internal motivation, but it is good to have an external motivation like the one that we can be the first South African team to be successful and win a European trophy.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Neil. And then Ox, if I come over to you, you're quite renowned for your scrummaging. I just kind of want to know what makes you the scrummager that you are.
Honestly, I think it's the way I'm able to literally just work with the guys around me, my pack, and yeah, I'm always open-minded to how the locks feel, what they prefer us doing, and yeah, just always trying to get everyone aligned. And yeah, I mean, you don't just win a scrum alone, but you win a scrum together. And I think the most important thing is just understanding the guys around you, and obviously making sure that we're all making plans to actually make the scrum better and dominate the guys in front of us.
Yeah, and do you think having the likes of Bongi and Vincent next to you in that front row, and then Eben behind you, do you think that Springbok connection kind of allows you to become a better scrummaging unit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have guys that are experienced and are still pretty much open-minded and willing to learn. So, I mean, you get the best of both worlds, really. And yeah, not a lot of guys have that privilege to actually say, you know what, you're playing with guys that have won World Cup twice or have like over 100 games each like on international level. So, I mean, it makes a big difference and it helps a lot.
Yeah, just the last one from me. Your role is obviously a bit different in the Sharks team. You're starting as opposed to being in the bomb squad. Is there a difference in mentality that you take into the games when you start or when you come off the bench?
Not really. It's obviously you just have to go for as long as you can. And when you're starting, like do your job, try to implement your team's game plan onto the opposition, and off the bench you already have an idea how the team is playing on the day, and you obviously have an idea of what kind of difference you'd want to bring on. And I think that's pretty much the only difference there is to it. But in terms of mentality, you always just wanna just help wherever you can.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you both. Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, Basir, followed by Mike, followed by Alistair. Thank you.
I have questions for Ox, Loïc Bessier of Midi Olympics, so for a French media outlet. Some weeks ago, you won in semifinals versus Clermont. Was it the best game of Sharks this season? Your best performance of the year, maybe?
I mean, Clermont are a quality side. They played amazing rugby, and they had us under pressure quite a lot. I think, we just the way we came back was exceptionally, like, it was exceptional from the boys. And I think, we made it tough for ourselves at some points, and we didn't follow through, but like we essentially in the end just stuck it out and just played for each other. But I wouldn't say there was a lot of mistakes that happened that we made in that game, and there's a lot that we can still work on, I believe.
In this game, you were close to be eliminated. It was a fantastic game of the two teams. What was the negative points about team performance? Maybe the defense for you, for Sharks?
I think most importantly, I mean, first of all, the set piece battle was pretty difficult. We didn't do too well there. We lost that battle, in my opinion. I think we let Clermont just play what they're good at, play momentum rugby, get quick ball, and we just never implemented our game onto them. And I think that's what made it difficult for us. We made silly mistakes, penalties here and there. So but I think we just let them play the kind of rugby that they like play really well.
Thank you and good luck for Friday.
Thank you, Bessier.
Mike, you can proceed with your question.
Thank you. Question for Ox. Lewis Ludlow, the Gloucester captain, was saying yesterday that they're quite excited about playing a team that they've got no history with, that's kind of going into the unknown. They've never played you guys. Is that something you guys feel as well? It's something different. Has preparation been a little difficult as well? Not really knowing the guys, that you don't play them week in, week out?
No, I think essentially for us, obviously, it's exciting to play guys that we don't play throughout the season. But as well, I mean, we have videos of how they play, the teams that they play. I think it's we have all the information there. You get to know the guys through your analysis. I think most of us in the team have seen the guys, how they are as rugby players on the field, based on the matches that we've watched of them playing. And it's pretty exciting, but as well, it's not really like venturing into the unknown, but it's just you get to play guys with like that play at a different intensity compared to what you play with. And I think that's the most exciting part, and not really about the unknown, but the fact that it's like different type of rugby or a different competition.
Cool, thanks.
Hi, it's Ali Eakin here. Hi, guys. Neil, question for you. Not unlike Gloucester, the league campaign hasn't been anything like what you'd have been after. What in your mind the main reasons why your URC challenge has not measured up?
No, I think I've mentioned a bit of it before, where we started with a whole new coaching team. Obviously, Plum came in beginning of the season, got a new attacking coach. Warren Whiteley, that was the only coach left from the previous season, went from a defense coach to the line-out coach, and then got two new coaches from the Currie Cup to move up into the system. So and it was just a case of finding a connection, a bit of synergy as well. I think we all know how important it is for a team, whether it's a coaching team or a team of players, to have that synergy and connection and to be coaching and playing together for a long period of time. I think most of your successful teams are teams that actually have that stability and consistency in the group of players or coaches over 3 to 4 years. And I think that's something that was lacking at the Sharks. Obviously Plum coming in with other ideas and new ideas. And then Dave Williams, the attacking coach as well, took a while for the guys to connect around the new game model that we wanted to play. So yeah, I think it was all a difficult year. Obviously, the World Cup that goes before that, not having the box for preseason always makes it tough. So the first time they get into your system will be on a Monday before you have to play on a Saturday, and it is challenging to actually then get them to be 100% aligned with what we're doing, and that's why it's so crucially important for the preseason and have everybody there for the preseason. But I think where we've gone over the last 6 months and where we are now is definitely a good foundation for us for the future. I think a lot of good things in terms of the culture and the environment. And yeah, and I think a happy squad at this moment. I think the guys that's really excited for the future and really want to be successful on Friday night to give us a good flat platform to go from after this.
And is there a kind of pleasure in a kind of one-stop shop for it? You know, it might be sounding dramatic, but to kind of salvage a season, if you like. I appreciate what you say about putting building blocks in place over the course of the campaign, but you know, a bit like Gloucester, you know, you guys can go home with a trophy, which would be huge, wouldn't it? Even allowing for disappointments in the league.
Yeah, I think it obviously will help a little bit if we can be successful over this weekend. But again, I think where we are as a union and as a team is we want to have sustainable success. So yes, it's pretty much about Friday night, and we want to be successful there, and hopefully that can be a starting point for what's to come in the future. We want to be one of the top teams in the URC, and we want to be one of the top teams in Europe in the Champions Cup. So like I said, it will be a great boost for us, and I think a good platform to go from after this if we can be successful on Friday night.
Brilliant, thank you. And just quickly, one for Ox on Spurs and the Tottenham Stadium, which everybody loves playing at. It's an amazing venue. Ox, have you got any Tottenham fans in the squad? Anybody particularly excited to be going to that particular cathedral?
Yeah, definitely. I think our take like this stats guy is a Tottenham fan, and yeah, he's pretty excited to be playing there.
Right, just the stats guy. None of the players big Spurs fans?
No, no.
Okay, brilliant. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali.
Final question.
Quick question for Neil. I was quite interested in the psychology behind your comment earlier that you wouldn't take too many learnings from the 80-0 Northampton game. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it's a totally different team that we will come up against. I think they've obviously made quite a few changes. I think the captain was playing and a few of the bench guys. So, but I think we can learn a lot more from that game that they played against Benetton, where they had probably the squad at 90%, 95, 99% of the squad that's going to play in the final. So, yeah, we obviously had a look at it and we learn from it what we can. But I think the focus would be more on the games where we think it will be this team that we will be up against on Friday night.
Okay, best of luck. Thanks.